It's draft time. Well, not really, but we get in there. We get in there, and we are gonna talk about names. These are the names that people already been talking about. All right, for most of them, right? They've been talking about them, and now it's time for your boys, the boys that you trust, to let you know how they feel about these names. So if you're not sure, you've been hearing a name in the news, you're like, should the Jets grab him? Should the Jets leave him alone? Well, guess what? That's exactly what we're gonna tell you right here, right now, because we are live, baby. It is Boy Green meets Wudi.
Can you guys help us get a Jet chant here? Yeah, going.
Oh.
Okay, right, yeah. Come on in.
Yeah.
Go. Okay, let's go!
J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go! J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go! There you go,
Third Party Thursday.
Chris joining us here on the program with a capital P here on the program.
Jake Asman, come on down. How you doing, good sir?
Wow, what an intro. I mean, Boy Green is known for having the intro, but Wudi, that was unreal, man. Thanks for the kind words, son.
We are men of many names.
My favorite Austrian Jets fan right there, baby.
Boy Green
meets Wudi. Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. You got to flip a coin now if they're gonna mute my thing during the intro or not. So I guess I just gotta pay attention to that. But it is your boy James.
Stock
Wudi.
down?
Nah. What you mean now? I'm always up, baby.
Oh, okay. I just meant on the mic. On the mic, stock down. I just.
No. That's StreamYard. That's StreamYard.
StreamYard stock down. I don't want to say that too loud, or else a minivan's going to pull up and drag me out of the house. Anywho, please.
Well, yes. You already know we are Wudi, rocking everywhere. Right there, my man. He's doing the do right now. Come on now. He is the boy who became king, none other than Mr. Paul Esden Jr. in the building. And we got a football. We got a little message right there. Okay. All right.
It says, "To my love, you're a great catch. Love you to the end zone and back."
Wow.
I got that from my fiance. It's a little football that sits right here. Nice.
There it is. All right. Hopefully you don't fumble it. Denzel Mims style. Here we go. We got some comments already. Come on now. Appreciate all the love. CB Dub. You already see me tweet about that man that you mentioned. And Yo Holmes in the building on Take Flight Talk. Come on now, the People's Channel. We out here. If you smell low, you know what I'm saying, what your boy is cooking. So, Boy Green, I even ask you, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I mean, we're running out of days in March. We're getting close to the NFL draft. I mean, there's reports left and right. The Jets are doing all their homework on all these quarterbacks, taking them out to dinner, wine and dine, workouts, all the rest. So it's good. That's a good reminder. We got to do our homework on a Tuesday to Thursday basis at 3 p.m. for the great people of this program. That's for sure.
Hey, you already know. And shout out to everybody. The Yankees opened up the season last night, but for all the other teams, we got opening day. Come on now, take me out to the ball game. You know what I'm talking about? We got some things happening. The Mets, my beloved Mets. Okay, we still got the lead right now. That first inning, bro, I was shook. Gave up 2 runs. I'm like, damn, oh my God, about to go. And then the Mets, we get 5 runs that same inning. So I'm like, yo, okay, let's go. 4-6 right now. Nice. I cannot lie. My parlay took a massive hit because I thought Schemes was not going to get pulled in the first inning. But, all good. And, for whatever team you're rooting for, I hope they do well. Besides Boy Green's team. He's a Boston fan.
Yeah, I will. Actually, my baseball job comes back tomorrow. So opening day for the Syracuse Mets, the AAA affiliate of your New York Mets, is tomorrow. So I'll be on a bunch of broadcasts this year. So looking forward to it. That'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. But for today, Jay, you said it best, boy. You said it best.
Oh,
that's just a beautiful quote. I live by those words.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, come
Powerful
on.
words.
Yes, life motto right
Short and
there.
sweet. Short and sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about sweet, but definitely short. So we talking about these prospects again. Like I said, I think a lot of these names are names that you've heard, maybe even ad nauseum. You've heard them a whole lot the last 2 months, and we're just giving our piece on what we would do if we in Darren Muji's room, the war room, in the trenches with them. What would we say in terms of these players and when we would take them? As you know, Boy Green and I approach these things completely differently. So if you were expecting us to just say, "Oh, yep, me too," "Oh, okay," this is not the show for you. We're about to give you two completely different sides of the spectrum, and that's where you can choose which side you're on.
That's right, out there in the audience. So, Wudi, explain what the hell we're doing today, man.
Yep, I mean it's pretty simple. Boy Green got 6 names of his own. I have 6 names of my own, and we playing tennis, almost a tennis volley. Okay, hey, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So serve the name, and then we volley with, hey, I would take this person here, there, or nowhere. Sam, I am.
No,
okay. Right, and then I would then, or the server would then, share where they would take that player, right? Okay. So that's what it is, right? Name where the other person would take him, where that person would take him, and then boom, next name. How you doing?
Okay. Who would you like to go first, Wudi?
You can go first.
Age before beauty. Excellent. All right, let's dive on in. My first name that I want to sprinkle out here into the universe is a fan favorite for some, and a fan not so favorite for others. It is Notre Dame Golden Domer, Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame. Wudi, where would you feel comfortable taking the superstar number 1 running back in the 2026 NFL draft? The man who Lou B, every time he calls into the show, he wants me to play this footage for him of Jeremiah Love running through the entire Penn State defense in this beautiful highlight reel. So where would you take this man, James Wudi?
This is a tough one. I definitely wouldn't say he's a not so favorite. I think he is universally respected. As we continue this footage here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Uncle Indy called him on the show this morning incredibly overrated. So I not so sure
really?
Everyone. Yeah. So actually, I've seen a few people on the other side. It's definitely won't be Ryan Roberts when you talk to him. He's a big time Notre Dame Golden Domer, but there's been a few people that don't even think he's a 3-down back. So I've heard some criticisms, quite frankly, of Jeremiah Love.
Yeah. Well, I can't. Well, for my analysis of the talent, we're talking Saquon level, Bijan level, somebody who was clearly the top pick of their draft class, and you are expecting them to produce like top 7 in the league production, like these first, every year of their rookie contract. Shout out to my guy, Gohan angered, because this is kind of where I stand. He said, yes, that exact post. I like Love. Would be hard to pick him with Hall being around. And like that's kind of how I feel. Now, we've seen trades happen on draft night, and I think there are a couple of names that are worth looking at being moved on that night. And unfortunately, my guy, until we see an extension, even after the extension, based on how these guys be moving, Breece Hall is a candidate. So let me tell you, I'll say this right now.
All right.
If they move Breece on draft night,
all right,
I am okay with getting Love in the first round. Whether that is the second overall pick, which would make me sick. actually. But I'm okay with it. I'll be okay. Or the preferred option of like, oh wow, he's still on the board at like 8, and then they move up
I see.
And get that. But that is a huge asterisk because with Brees, I think Brees is somebody who I expect to be, top 10 once a new quarterback like does not, after this horrific Geno chapter is done and we have a new quarterback, like I'm expecting Brees to be top 10. So I don't think the drop off is huge from Love to Brees. But I know that this is the most complicated answer you're going to receive all episode.
Okay.
Because it's a complicated situation, But I am okay with a first round pick on this man as long as Brees Hall has been traded for some sort of value.
Before I answer and do all my stuff, a quick follow up. If they Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery it, where they drafted Jeremiah Love and kept Brees Hall, your response would be what?
I don't think they're doing them any favors. Like David Montgomery, he was under contract. Like Brees, the Brees and Montgomery comp, like they're in two completely different spots of
definitely to take that for what it is. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So I just think it would be, you're only hurting yourself because if you're trying to get rid of Brees, making him be somebody's Robin, this is not the timing to have that happen and try to get, a third rounder or, top value for Brees. And if you don't get top value for Brees, are you tagging him again? He's definitely not going to stay. Like now you pretty much lost him. You've lost
That's
him.
Probably true.
So I think that would, I actually believe that is the dumbest of the three, or let me not say dumb. Let me not attack nobody intelligence out here. But I think it's the worst of the three options. You either trade Brees for Love, let Love walk, keep Brees, but you don't run with both of them and expect Brees to be a New York Jet the next year.
All right. So before I answer this myself, the only pushback I will give is, hey, Muji can cook, man. So maybe he's going to surprise me. But I feel like a Brees Hall trade is complicated because I don't think anyone is straight up just trading for him on the tag and that's it. And then he just plays on the tag. I think an extension has to be necessary here. So like, I'm making this up. If the Jets and Seahawks like, man, we lost Kenneth Walker. Oh, cool. Let's go trade for Brees. Like the Jets and Seahawks would have to agree whatever the compensation is, a 4th round pick, 3rd round pick, whatever. And then, all right, Seattle, you and Brees Hall's agents get in a room and go hammer out a deal. To pull that off on draft night would be incredibly complicated. Possible maybe, but with 8 minutes per pick in the first round, and I don't, maybe this isn't a first round thing. Maybe it's some other part of the draft. Maybe over a couple of days, and they did some pregame before we got to draft weekend, and they've talked about it for weeks. Maybe you can pull it off. But yeah, that one seems complicated, but interesting. I would say, we'll share some similar sentiment here that it would be a reckless allocation of resources to have Brees and Jeremiah Love together where they are. Jeremiah Love, of course, at the beginning of a rookie deal, Brees Hall already at the end. If Brees Hall, and again, the Jets attempted to do this in what would have been Brees Hall's second year in the league, they tried to draft Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jahmyr Gibbs and Brees would have been together, both very similarly on rookie contracts. And I'm curious how Brees would have handled that if that had happened. That would be interesting. That's forever the NFL of what could have occurred. But so that's a different story now. So yeah, I think in the same sense, I need to know what's going on with Brees. And here's the other thing. If you draft Love and I'm someone who is trading for Brees, I'm like, are you going to keep both? Like maybe Brees Hall's value, whatever he was, goes down at the moment you draft Jeremiah Love because they know that Brees Hall's not going to be happy with your current situation. So maybe that drops his price too. So again, it's a little bit of a dance here, especially if you don't take him at 2, to your point. Let's say you take Arvell Reese at 2, Jeremiah Love starts slipping down the board, and then you're able to jump up from 16 to go get him. Like, again, there's just a lot of complicated factors here. But I love Jeremiah Love, and I did see this Where was this Jim CBW comment? Where was this? Ah, yes. Didn't Love run through Syracuse defense multiple times? Yes, I was there in person. It's hard to see because of the lighting of my studio. But right next to that Geno jersey, right there, this football right here, a mini football, is the Syracuse Notre Dame game from last year, which was November 22nd, 2025 of last year. I was at South Bend and watched Jeremiah Love, run all over that candy-ass defense for nearly 200 rushing yards and multiple 50-yard scores. It was intense. And then he could have run for a lot more, but they called off the dogs at some point, and Notre Dame still won 70-6. So that was brutal. So I did see that in person. Jeremiah Love is a very special talent. So yeah, I'd be willing to take him in the first round. But again, sort of the same thing. You'd have to figure out the Breece Hall piece, or else that's very complicated to sort of work out. So all right, good first one there, Wudi. Love. Okay, nice.
Yeah, I know. Popular, like I said, right? A lot of these names are going to be super popular names. And just what would we do to get them on the team? But hey, Breece, if you're watching, still playing, I would have already extended. But we out here, the days are just rolling by, no extension, so we don't know what's happening. So allow me,
please,
to bring you my heavy hitter name. My first name off the James Wudi list, is none other than this. Rise. You want to talk about stock up or stock down?
Yeah, sure.
Ever since the combine, his stock has been sky high, through the roof. We're talking about Sonny Styles, the linebacker from Ohio State. Come on now, what are you doing, Boy Green?
Yeah, I'll reference this when we're going through names here listed, and maybe I'll do it once we get off some of these big names here, but I'll still try to do it here. The consensus big board, and for those who don't know what that means, it's everyone's big board across America that does draft big boards, NFL.com, ESPN. It's a consensus. It's a massive big board of everyone all together, sort of where do players stand in the eyes of the NFL draft media. And Sonny Styles is the 5th overall ranked player of any player in this draft. And if you're looking at off-ball linebacker, he's number 1, depending on what you consider, I guess, Arvell Reese, who's there at 2 on the board. I get positional value, and that's going to scare a lot of people. But damn, man, I felt really good about Sonny Styles before the combine. And then you see the combine, 6'5", 244 pounds. And again, we went through it on a previous episode, but just bigger than Megatron, faster than CeeDee Lamb, and you're just he's an alien, he's a predator, he's a whatever. And the Jets need help at linebacker. And to think about Demario Davis and Sonny Styles together, oh, good Lord have mercy. So yeah, when am I willing to take him? Number 2 overall. If they take him, I ain't gonna be mad if they take Sonny Styles. To be honest, there's very few things. Maybe we'll find out on this list. Very few things that would incense me, that would piss me off. Oh my God, they went with him. It feels like it's hard to mess up too, because there's a lot of really talented players here that they could go with. So I love Sonny Styles. It's a clear need on the team, and DeMario's not here forever. So Sonny could play with him immediately and then eventually take the torch from him. So I sort of love that setup. So yeah, Sonny Styles, man, sign me the hell up.
Well, let me take this time to sincerely and deeply apologize to our fans.
Oh boy.
Because my name is James Wudi. I tell everyone I am a purveyor of truth. I'm trying to tell people the truth, and I have lied. I've lied on this show, bold-faced. You can rewind it and look at the lie. I said that Boy Green and I would not agree. We would not check anything off, but here we are in lockstep. Come on now. If they say the name Sonny Styles is a New York Jets 2nd overall, I'm hyped. I'm fist bumping. We out here. It's time to dap people up in the room. I got some family coming over for the draft. I won't be able to join my guy in Pittsburgh. A lot of people are rolling through to Pittsburgh. I won't be able to do that, but I do got some family coming over, so they getting dapped up. Everybody getting dapped up. Wake up my kids, they getting dapped up.
Oh,
all right. Sonny Styles, Boy Green just pretty much said it all, but I think he has the potential. You want to talk about people in the draft that can end up in the Hall of Fame. You know, I know Boy Green said he was 5th on this consensus draft board. In terms of what I just said, I feel like he's like number 2, number 1 or 2. Like,
okay, all right.
you know, so and the thought of having DeMario, that adds it. Like, you might think that's a hindrance, like, oh, DeMario's already there, but no, that actually adds to the value, because if there's anything that you would say, like, oh, okay, like Sonny, you know, he obviously doesn't have NFL experience, like DeMario is right there. Like, come on now, like this would fit like a glove. This would be perfect. I think the only type of person that wouldn't want this is somebody who thinks Jamie Sherwood is something that he's not. You know, so yeah, this is a no-brainer too. I thought I was gonna have to explain this, but you know, Boy Green, he already out there, he doing his thing, he already explained it, so we can move on to the next name.
Yeah, you know, poor. He's making $45 million. But Jamie Sherwood, like, if they draft Sonny Styles, his ass is buried. Like, because you got DeMario, he's your Mike. Sonny is working with him. We'll see officially the position, you know, that he would play in this defense and what the base will ultimately be for the New York Jets. But he's going to be on the field. And old Jameis going to be like, anyone need water? Water? Anyone need water? Like, it's going to be the new role. Hey, coach, what's my role? WB, is that Will linebacker? No, water boy. Okay. All right. So maybe a little bit of that for old Jamie this year, which could be possible. All right. So Sonny Styles. Okay. We're off to a rip roar start here, James Wudi. All right. I had a great joke all written out for this guy because I assumed how you were going to respond on a certain name. And, well, you didn't respond anywhere that I thought. You know, I can't judge a book by a James Wudi cover, because the other name I was going to stay in the Notre Dame backfield to give you Jadarian Price. I was going to say, is this Price right? Because I assumed you're going to be like, Jeremiah Love, what the hell? I thought you were just going to be totally crapping all over Jeremiah Love. So my entire Jadarian Price joke, unfortunately, goes by the wayside here. But Jadarian Price, a different running back, the second-ranked running back in this class. It seems like it's Jeremiah Love and then a gap and then, you know, Jadarian Price. And by the way, if Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price are the first 2 running backs selected in any order of the draft, this would be the first time in NFL draft history that 2 teammates were the first 2 running backs selected in a singular draft. So some history perhaps here. What about Jadarian Price? Is that Price right for James Wudi?
So you said all that just to still say the joke anyway.
That didn't make any sense. Right, yeah.
Yeah. But
commit to the bit. Yeah, commit to the bit.
Okay. All right. But I'm gonna have to say nah. I'm good. I'll pass. That's
pass
the
on,
first
on what? At all?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
What? Oh my! Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the first of the day. We'll see if there are any more. I don't know. We'll see. But this is the first. Like, here's the thing. There's no way I'm taking him in the first round.
Okay.
In the second round, you know, I think we got other needs. Like, at this point, like, is Price, you know, better than Brees? I'm gonna have to say no pretty quickly. Is he better than Braylon? Could be, probably, maybe. I don't know. But you know, Braylon's on the team under contract. I think, you know, using the 33rd or the 44th on something that to me is like a linear move, it doesn't even make sense. Because there are moves you can make at 33 and 44 that are clear improvements, you know, and that's the thing with Love. Love is a clear improvement. You cannot deny that. And that's why, you know, I wasn't hating on Love and I said everything that I said about him. But for me, I feel like Price, you know, that seems pretty linear to me. So yeah, I'm gonna just pass altogether.
Hot damn. On the consensus big board, Jadarian Price is ranked 48th overall, which you're like, hey, that's a, you know, borderline top 50 player. But he has been taken in a few mock drafts to the Seattle Seahawks I've seen at 32nd overall. So the Jets wouldn't have a chance, in theory, unless they took him at those 2 spots. I will say that as much as I love Jadarian Price and Notre Dame, I certainly wouldn't take him at 2. I certainly wouldn't take him at 16. And quite frankly, I wouldn't take him at 33 either. So the earliest I would consider it is 44. And I want to know what happened with the first 3 picks before I just commit, pen it in that he's 44. I need to know what occurred before that point. So it's not even a slam dunk at 44. It's potential. In my mock draft, I haven't done a mock draft myself, and will do one on this show where I'm calling the shots up until what's today? Thursday. So yesterday I did my first mock draft where I made the decisions, and Jadarian Price ended up being a pick in a trade back scenario where I was at pick 50 and I ended up taking him off the board. Super talented guy. Obviously, he gets buried behind Jeremiah Love's shadow. Anyone would that's in that backfield. I think he is going to be a second-round draft choice. I don't think he goes in the first round, but if he does, God bless him and his family for getting that bag. But yeah, so 44 at the earliest for Jadarian. I'm a really big fan, but 44 at the earliest, and that's not even a slam dunk for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think is the state of the running back room? You out here 2 running backs, right off the bat. Like, I feel like running back.
Okay, well, let's look at the room for a second. Okay, so Braylon Allen destroyed his leg, and so he half of his rookie contract is done. It's complete, which means Isaiah Davis half of his rookie contract is complete, and Breece Hall's on the franchise tag right now. So, And as much as we all talk up, Braylon Allen, he's our mini Derrick Henry. Well, we haven't seen mini Derrick Henry nothing during his career.
I'm definitely not saying that. Yeah, I'm not saying mini. Yeah, I'm not saying
which. So we've seen, with all due respect, nothing from Braylon, and we've seen nothing from Isaiah Davis that would indicate he's a clear 1 or even a clear 2. He's had some nice moments, but I wouldn't just clearly he's locked in. Boop. RB2, like I haven't seen enough from Isaiah, and I've liked what I've seen from Isaiah in limited opportunities. So, that's just sort of the state of the state there.
Yeah. I can't lie. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect, but of the rooms,
okay.
And we can, I guess we can do a list about this. I feel, solid. Like they, those are three good guys. Is Braylon wildly over? I think he's the most overrated player by this fan base.
Damn.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, who else? It's either him or Will McDonald. They can flip a coin. But
who's the most overrated guy on the team?
No, by this fan base. I'm talking specifically you ask Jets fans, about players, and they're like, this guy. I'm going Braylon, like you said, but I do think like he can have a breakout year. I do think that. Especially with the line, Sure. I want to shout out my guy real quick. Take Flight Today, one of the best pages on all of Instagram. He is in the Take Flight Talk YouTube channel right now. And he said, choo-choo. He is back on the Bane train. I know there's been a lot of things on social media comparing, the pro days of Ruben Bane Jr. and Arvell Reese, whatever he's calling himself,
I don't know, right? Yeah.
But yeah, we've seen that. And, maybe Darkness is our ally because he's not listed as one of our official, names right here. I do just want to get this in. I would be perfectly fine with Bane at 2 as well. That's another person. I feel like there's 4 names where, we're daps all around. And Ruben Bane Jr. is one of those. I think he is a fantastic player. I think they're making a little too much about his arms. You can't teach that motor, that strength, and this is pre-NFL locker room strength. He only gets stronger. I'm a big fan. So yeah, shout out to him. I would take him at number 2.
2 things here, because to your point, we don't have Bane on the bingo card. I trust the analysis of Trevor Sikkema, who runs Pro Football Focus's draft department, and he has joined my show several times and said he would pick Bane if he was running the operation. And again, I trust his judgment. The short arm thing, again, while it gets blown up a lot, like he would have the shortest arms of any first round pick since like 1998 or something, or ever, or since they've been tracking it. Like that is great. It's in a very different way. Bryce Young's size was so unique that we had never seen that before from a number 1 overall pick. So it's worth talking about from that perspective. But he does appear, when you just watch the football, He seems to be a beast. And, they questioned in a very different way Aaron Donald's measurements coming out of Pitt and said, I don't know about this guy. And that worked out. Not to say Ruben May will be Aaron Donald, but yeah, I told you at the beginning of this, Woody, and I mean it. There are very few players that I'm going to be at the draft, and Roger Goodell comes up to that podium with the number 2 overall pick, the Jets take blah, then I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, I can't even think of, I mean, I guess I can, that's unrealistic, but like, I don't think there's a realistic name that he could say that I'm just going to below my lid and be pissed, because again, it seems really hard for the Jets to have to say.
At number 2?
At number 2.
All right, well, allow me to introduce this name. Allow me to introduce the 4th name that we're discussing. That is none other than Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson.
Do you think that's realistic?
I am terrified. I'm literally terrified.
There's no way. I mean, I would lose my shit if now again. We'll see, because here's the thing: when the draft is going, I don't know exactly where I'm going to be yet. There's a couple possibilities that Lou B is working on behind the scenes. So we'll see exactly sort of where I'm at. But no matter what, I'll try to make sure my phone is recording and pointing towards myself whenever, like, you're going to overhear it. I assume Goodell on the speakers when he makes that pick. If he said that name, number 2 overall, I imagine my jaw is going to be on the floor and it will be silent for a second. Like, and then just like, no, that didn't just really happen. So here, it's a complicated thing, not to the Jeremiah Love level, that quarterbacks by virtue are a scintillating, conversation-driving selection. If you take a quarterback in the first round, whatever team you are, that's holy, whoa, you're taking a quarterback in the first round because you believe they're a franchise savior, all of these other things. That's not the case in the 5th round, the 4th round, the 3rd round, 2nd round. Speaking of Geno, right? He was a 39th overall pick. While you don't have as much pressure as a first-round pick, like top 40 pick at quarterback is a big deal. Christian Hackenberg, sorry to give those names, 51st overall, even in the 2nd round. That's a big deal to take a quarterback that high. So, there's an extra level of that. So while there will be shock and like, oh my goodness, there will be an excitement somewhere in there, I imagine, of like, holy crap, the Jets believe that he's a franchise quarterback. Hallelujah. Save us, please. But there's a lot of, anywho, let's get into it here. I am not comfortable taking Ty Simpson at 2. Quite frankly, I'm not comfortable taking him at 16. I think the earliest I would take him, if I was running the operation, is 33. If he's there at 33, and I'd even be interested in this, if he's on the board at 33 and my phone's blowing up and someone else wants to trade up for him, I'm like, well, what are those offers? And I might consider moving back and taking advantage of this Ty Simpson hype train and letting someone else jump on the ride if the offers are good. If the offers are non-existent, I'm sitting at 33. I could say, what do I have to lose if I like him? I'm not taking him just because everyone else says he's good, or consensus big board, which I believe I have it in front of me here. I think he's 35 on my list. Let me double check. Yes, 35 on the consensus big board. I'm not taking him like that just because people consider him that way. If I'm in my building and I'm in the Jets, I'm like, hey, man, we were only going to take him if he was here at 33. You know what? F it. Let's go. Let's go take this guy. We like him a lot. We wanted to fill other needs, and he's still here. Like, damn, we have no other choice. Like, boom, he's here. Let's go. We weren't going to overdraft him, but we would take him in this spot because we like him a lot. Then so be it. So that's where I would consider taking him. But I would say this: if the Jets believe, right, they're whining and dining all these guys. We'll get to another name on this list of someone they're whining and dining this week on top of Ty Simpson, which is going to be, they're going out to dinner with him tonight. They're doing a private workout with him tomorrow. Last week was Drew Aller. They're looking at all these guys. If they come to the conclusion that any one of these guys, because obviously they're not going to have a chance at Fernando, if they come to any conclusion about Carson Beck or anyone in this draft and they say he's the guy, I am going to trust the people in the building. Not everyone will in the Jets fan base, but I will. I'll say, okay, they think he's the guy. They did all this homework on him. They studied all these guys. Let's hope they're right, and let's go to war, Balake. But to me, the earliest is 33. The college starts thing scares the crap out of me, Wudi. 15 college starts? Like, and he's 23. He's going to turn 24 as a rookie. Like, so he's old. and he has no experience. Like that's a weird, a bad combination. That that's the thing of older and not enough experience. So yeah, that gives me the heebie-jeebies. But 33 is the earliest. 33.
The main thing that you just said that I have to double down and agree with.
Oh, okay.
Is that if you take a quarterback in the first 2 rounds,
yeah,
that means you feel like they can be a franchise QB.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just said it. So I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
Based off that fact alone.
Okay.
Ty Simpson is a never. Dude, steer clear.
Wow.
Yes, steer clear. What do you mean? If you draft him in the 2nd round, you are saying you believe he gonna be the no, steer clear of this man. Steer clear, please. Please. Y'all laughed at me when I said that Justin Fields was the number 1 QB to avoid. Y'all laughed. This is what I'm telling you. This is the number 1 situation to avoid is wasting a high draft pick. I consider first 3 rounds a high draft pick on Ty Simpson. Clearly, he's not going to be there after the 3rd round. So that's why he is a never type situation. And, Gohan angered. I got to completely agree again. Boy Green's like, yo, we just going to trust. We got to trust, no. If they mess this up, they need to go hit the road, Jack. Don't come back. You know what I'm talking about? No more.
I've heard that song. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, when it comes to QBs, they've already made the wrong choice, or I would say about 3 times they've made the wrong choice about this position. So they don't have my trust. They don't have my respect. Leave it to next year, please. Leave it to next year, and do not waste time on Ty Simpson.
I only have, I guess I have a lot of concerns, but one of the concerns I have is this. Okay. Now, normally I'm cool with a quarterback marinating behind the scenes. Jets have effed up so many quarterbacks by shoving them into the deep end of the pool, said, hope you can swim, buddy. And then they sink to the bottom of the water, and it's terrible. Okay. If the Jets determine we like this Ty Simpson guy, but he's got to sit the entire year, then I don't think you can take him if you come to those 2 conclusions, because there's no way that you could go into 2027 if you drafted Ty Simpson in the first 2 rounds and you go in there and say, we can't take one of these quarterbacks. We got that Ty Simpson fella back there. Like, you have to know unequivocally he's the guy. So if you draft Ty Simpson, you say, I think he can beat out Geno, or halfway through the year, he's going to get half a season for us to look at. If you believe that, then okay, you can convince me on taking Ty Simpson, because we're going to see a significant amount of chunk of him on the field, and you'll be able to tell or have a very good inkling, he's the guy or he's not the guy. But if you draft him and cryogenically freeze him the entire year, how do you make a decision in 2027? Because if you have a top 5 pick and you're like, should we take a quarterback? We got this Ty Simpson guy. And let's say you don't take a quarterback because you say you have Ty Simpson and Ty Simpson stinks. Oh my goodness. Everyone's going to get fired and your organization's held back for a long period of time. This is rare to have the kind of draft assets the Jets have. You can't screw it up. So Ty Simpson would screw that part up. You can't do it.
Yeah, please. I'm happy. I'm happy that I can look into this comment section and I see a lot of common sense in here. I see a lot of common sense regarding Ty Simpson. I do see some nonsense. Let me not, there is some nonsense in here, but a lot of, real facts. I think Boss Girl also has a really nice summary of 2 really big historical facts. That's why are we, why are we wasting time with this? Come on now. Let Simpson be somebody else's project. We got enough projects, right, that we working on. Let's not add in another project right now. 2027, we have the capital. We'll be able to make things happen. Our guy, Henry McKenna, talking about the Colts. We'll see what we can package if we need to move up. But, I would start a protest at the Jets headquarters. Wudi, we would have to have something happen if they draft Ty, especially in the first round. But I'm hoping not at all. Again, that's my second never so far this episode.
Okay. All right. Never, ever, ever. Neverland. Okay. We're on a magical journey. That's beautiful. All right. Let me throw one at you here, Woody. This is a polarizing guy. I'm curious how you feel about him. Arizona wide receiver Jordan Tyson. Where are you at there?
He is polarizing. Me personally,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because MetLife Turf is MetLife Turf. My ankle's still hurting from the time that we stepped on the MetLife Turf together. That was October, right? Yeah, they were still throbbing, but not. Some people they just get hurt. In college, and then NFL. Professional training staffs, professional programs. They come in and they're perfectly fine. Frank Gore is the example I love to bring up. Of his career, one of the literally somebody who's known for NFL longevity. They was questioning coming in because he had the ACL tears in college. A more recent example, but a different sport, is Michael Porter Jr., currently of the Nets for the New Yorkers out here. His back was considered an issue, and that's why the terrible people that ran the Knicks back then passed on him, and I believe they drafted Kevin Knox. If you don't know who that is, it's okay. Neither do I. And Porter's still balling. He's out here doing work for the Nets. So injuries in college don't bother me as much as the average person. So if you look at what this person can do on the field, he is absolutely, in my opinion, worth the 16th overall pick. For me, it's a coin flip between him and Lemon. These are both great separators on the field, and that's what I'm looking for on the field is separation. Can you separate? I need route runners. I'm tired of getting people that can't separate, and we just hope that magically our guy Sean Jefferson is going to get them to separate, because there's not one person who has come to the Jets in the last 10 years who has improved their ability to run routes. If they can run routes with the Jets, it's because they were doing it before. And I look at my guys, Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore. So I need them to be able to run routes before, and Jordan Tyson certainly can. 16th overall. I'm okay with that.
Jordan Tyson is 13th on the consensus big board. 13th. 13th on the consensus big board. Now, if you saw my mock draft yesterday, you saw I traded back into the first round to go get Jordan Tyson. So, that in theory should answer it. But actually, there was a mistake. I was trying to trade up for a different wide receiver, and I couldn't pause the draft fast enough. So I ended up settling for Jordan Tyson. The injuries, man, never completing a college football season, that's concerning. Not participating at the combine, that's concerning. Not participating at the pro day, that's concerning. But now, a few days before the draft, he's going to do some private show for NFL teams a few days before, and he won't do the full workouts. He's going to do just a few drills to show them. There's just a lot of red flags here. Obviously, some fans would argue in the first round, you step up to the plate and use our baseball references here on opening day for everyone not Yankees, and grab that bat off your shoulder and swing. And if you connect, you want the home run. And if you miss, all right, well, that's what the first round, you want to do sometimes. The first round is get, try to win, play to win. This, I think the early, and again, I also want to say this when we're playing this game, Wudi, we may say, here's the price I'm willing to pay, but that person may never be available at that. And that's fine. And I'm not trying to be ridiculous about it, but I want to make this clear. I'm about to say a price and you're like, well, he ain't going to be there. Well, I guess I ain't spending. 33, I think, is where I'm comfortable taking Jordan Tyson. I think 33. And I doubt that he's there, to be honest, but there is a chance with the injuries that he could fall down the board. Every year, people are like, whoa, how the hell is this guy available? And you have to make sure the medical checks obviously are good. But yeah, 33 is the earliest that I would consider taking him. And I understand that sounds incredibly contradictory to the mock draft I pulled off yesterday. But yes, 33 is where I would feel comfortable selecting him.
But yeah, that sounds like I don't want to say never, but it sounds like a never type situation. Well, actually, no, because you said if he was there at 33, you would pull the trigger.
I would. And again, I don't know how realistic that is. Again, he's 13th on the consensus big board, but every draft we look at 33 day one show, we're like, holy crap. I will do a video. Well, we'll see, I guess, with all the craziness of the draft and Lou B and who knows everything that'll be happening. But I normally do a video every year of here are the top 10 players I can't believe are still on the board. The Jets should maneuver. Now, the Jets normally don't have pick 33, so like they will have a shot at any of these guys that are on this list. But I'm sure I'll make a YouTube video and go, oh my God, boom, 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 boom. Look at these names. And I'm sure they surprise every year. Maybe Jordan Tyson is one of those names.
Yeah. I agree with your prediction of like, oh, he probably not going to be there, but yeah, I just gotta, again, there are just, we've seen it enough times where people, are coming in college. I can't say healthy. Another one was our guy, Bryce Hall, right? Yeah, that was his name, right? The corner,
right? Virginia corner. Yeah.
And he tore both of his ACLs, and then he came in, started for us, had some good, some solid seasons, and never had like a major injury in the pro. So again,
that's true.
To look at someone's college career and say, "Oh, they definitely never," I feel like that's so silly. Like, there's so many. I can understand if it was the exact same body part every time, and you're like, "Yo, like this body part, it's like not, isn't defective." But to say like every, just different things happen, like, no, that's crazy. So, yeah, I'm, you got 33. I got 16 for Tyson. I guess it's my turn. So I will.
Hey, real quick. I just want to get to the super chat coming in here from Fastest.
Oh, yeah, please.
AKA Chef Kevin Gilbert.
Wow.
Thank you for the $2 super check. Congrats, BG, on 8.5K. Keep on going. Wudi, my dude, with the salute. Yes, we have recently surpassed 8,500 subscribers. I'm a few subscribers away from 8,520 as we try to make our chase to 10,000 subscribers. That's a number I wanted to get to. It's been an amazing fan response, and we'll see. Maybe we do some crazy stuff in the draft, and all of a sudden we get a surge of people going, who the hell is this Boy Green guy? Maybe that happens, Chef Kevin Gilbert. So we will see. Appreciate that. And yes, let's please show some love for my partner in crime here, James Wudi, at Take Flight Talk, TFT, baby. And there's going to be a TFT takeover next week, Wudi. Might as well sprinkle some more promotion for this since this is our last show together for the week. Some Take Flight Talk actions happening next week, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. We got my guy, Michael K., the active college running back. He literally about to do these shows with me and then go to practice later that day. But yeah, we taking over. We're taking over the channels, the airwaves, all 5 ways that, this show normally airs. We will be on there, and we're going to be talking Jets. We're going to be talking free agents. We're going to be talking draft prospects, just like how we're doing now. We're gonna bring the fire. We're gonna bring that perspective,
which again you could only appreciate, which is perfect. So I can't wait to see. And shout out to having Michael K on the show. He's going to be a wonderful addition here on the program, and also, of course, obviously streaming over the same normal things as Wudi just said. By the way, Bryce Hall was taken in the 5th round out of Virginia. He slipped. He was once considered a first-round prospect, fell to round 5 because of the injury concerns. And Bryce was a very nice player for the Jets, all things considered. As a 5th-round pick, he was a starter for a while and did a very nice job. So a big salute to Bryce Hall. I believe he's still in Tampa Bay right now. Yeah,
I think that was Mark's point, was like, look at where Bryce was drafted as opposed to Jordan
like
Tyson. Yeah,
I see.
But I wouldn't say that like Hall. I mean, he had multiple years. Like, he was considered first round, and then he had multiple years of injuries. And then he fell down. Like Tyson, he's played. It's not like he hasn't played. You know what I'm saying? He's played. And again, I think he has the potential to be the best receiver in this class. So again, I agree with the metaphor of swinging the bat. Is this a double? Is this a home run? Is this a fly out? We gonna figure that out. But this guy is somebody who has home run potential, and I've never, ever in my life turned my back on somebody that I originally, bang the table for. So keep it simple, RC. I'm gonna keep it simple right now. If Jordan Tyson gets hurt, I'll be the first person to say, "Oops, my bad, whoopsie." That's literally what I'll be. I'm like, damn. I really thought, Michael Porter, and I bring up the same name, Michael Porter Jr., Bryce Hall, Frank Gore. I bring up the same name, but that has nothing to do with AG. I don't even that doesn't even make sense. Blaming coaches for injuries. So that's just unnecessary hate, man. Come on now. I don't have that, and neither should you.
Let's get another super chat in here. This is from Paul Niels with the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Let's cook.
Wow.
Shout out to Paul here. You have a raffle ticket to our contest this month. What are your thoughts off moving number 2 to the Kansas City Chiefs for 3 picks? 9th overall, 29th overall, and 40th overall. Well, I am the resident draft nerd in the room, and the draft value chart says the number 2 overall pick is worth 2,600 points. The combination of picks you just highlighted, which would be the Chiefs first, the first they got for the Rams, and their own second-round draft choice, the math, man. The 9th overall pick is worth 1,350. The other pick that they got from the Rams, 29 overall, is 640. And then 40th overall is 500. Beep, boop, bop. You do the math. That is right around an equivalent swap-a-rooney in terms of value. I would be curious what Kansas City would be moving up for, because it wouldn't be for Jeremiah Love anymore after paying Kenneth Walker the bag. So I'd be curious whatever that is. But yeah, from a Jets perspective, sure as shit. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, baby. So you're telling me I'd have 9, 16, 29, 33, 40, and 44, 6 picks inside the top 44. Woo-wee. Come on. Where am I signing? T's crossed, I's dotted. ... Yes, the Chiefs. I'm not sure what they're moving up for. But again, I understand the overall genesis, though, because like Patrick Mahomes, I just saw his workout video. Apparently, he's going to be ready for the preseason. I thought he's going to be missing some time. I guess he's going to be ready for spring ball, maybe. I mean, good Lord, have mercy. He has Wolverine blood or tiger blood or something flowing through those veins, I suppose. And when you have Patrick Mahomes, you can get a little bit more froggy, because you have Patrick Mahomes. You're like, we don't need all these picks. F them picks. We got Patrick Mahomes. Let's go get a superstar player. And that's what they could do. But yes, absolutely, I'm for it. Would you be for it, Woody?
Yeah, when you put it like that, I mean, it's hard to say no. I would be sad, though, because I feel like that would almost guarantee that we miss out on the 4 names that I said I'd be hyped up, dapping people up.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a lot of capital. That's a lot of capital. So I wouldn't say it's like the no-brainer. It sounds great. That capital, but if you believe in the Hall of Fame potential of some of these, top names that we talk about, Sonny Styles is one of them. Ruben Bain, Reese, obviously. Then I don't think it is. I really don't think it's worth it. If that's what you believe of that player. Then,
or whoa, what about this? Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, what if you go from 2 to 9, and then you start seeing a little bit of slippage, and you're like, we got 1 million picks. We'll trade back up, move around the board, manipulate a little bit. Washington has 2 picks inside the top 146 picks of this draft. They have 2. That's it. I'm sure they're willing to swim. All right, we'll jump. We'll go from 2 to 9, 9 to 7. Beep, boop, pong. Whoa, boing, 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 boing. You jump around the board a little bit. Jump back up to 7. Go get Ruben Bain Jr. You move up the board and go get some Sonny Styles action, perhaps. A little slip and slide.
That's true. That's definitely true. That's like some Madden-ish, but like it does happen. So yeah, that's a good point. So. And I know my man Muji, he always down to trade. So yeah, let's do it, and then see what how they can move back up. Before, because I know there's been a lot of sidebars, but I have to address this sidebar. It's happening on the Take Flight Talk channel. So, hey, I appreciate y'all riding with us, talking with us. But I just have to say, I am not super high on rolling in to the season with Garrett, my guy AD, and Mason Taylor as the 3 top pass catching options. Would I be furious? No. I'll not furious. Would I be content? No. We need somebody else. All right. And he specifically said that or Envelet specifically said,
oh, whoops, sorry.
No worries. Because I realized I didn't say it. He specifically said no receivers until day 2. That is crazy. That almost sounds insane when you think about the Jets history drafting receivers on day 2.
That's a good point.
So you're saying plan A is Malachi Corley, plan A is Arian Smith, plan A? Like, what do you stop that?
Well, Arian Smith was day 3.
Okay, that's all right. Denzel Mims,
Denzel Mims, Elijah Moore. You got plenty of fodder. You got plenty of fodder. Stephen Hill. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and that's why this whole thing is kind of tough that we're doing, because we've already said, I feel comfortable taking this person 2 or 16. Like, if we get a receiver, which it looks like we are drafting a receiver based on how free agency has fallen.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of needs to be the first round. I'm willing to accept 33 because 33 is kind of first round, sure. Breeze. I'm willing to accept that, but anything lower than that, I don't care who it. I don't care. We need somebody above there. If you need a receiver to make an impact, like if you want to just draft someone for fun, and I know we got some names like that, like draft someone for fun. Okay, all right, you can chill with Arian. Y'all can play rock paper scissors, but we talking about starting week 1, 33 above.
Yeah, you said you wouldn't be livid. Let me be the one. If the Jets roll up with Garrett Wilson and A.D. Mitchell as the top 2 receivers, then they fucked up this offseason, man. I mean, I like A.D. Mitchell. But I don't love A.D. Mitchell, and certainly not as an unquestioned wide receiver too. If you get in a guy, I don't want to give a name like Stephon Diggs because that's not going to happen. But someone much less of a name than him, I guess Jawan Jennings, but he's considered higher. But some mid receiver, and A.D. Mitchell beats his ass in camp, and he leapfrogs him. Woohoo! You're the Jets. You're like, sweet, that's what we wanted. Okay, I'm willing to be pleasantly surprised in that way, but there's still a viable person that he overcame, that he surpassed, but that person's still on the roster. That's a way I could do it. But hell no. I'm getting Garrett Wilson. I'm getting whoever this wide receiver 2 is, to your point, some premium filet mignon. And you get someone at 16th overall, trade back into round 1. Maybe the Jets go, F this. We're going to go move up, get our guy. Maybe it's Omar Cooper Jr. or it's a Denzel Boston or it's, I don't know, whoever your guy is, one of the 3 starts slipping tights in. And you're like, interest app. All right, we're not waiting for 33. We'll go get him at 25 or something. Okay, here you go. But you need more. We can't have what we had last year. That was ridiculous. With all due respect, John Mechie, A.D. Mitchell, we were having some random people out there catching passes, and it just Josh Reynolds, Alan Lazard. I mean, no. Hell no. No wide receiver still day 2. What is this? What is this?
That's crazy. I think what you need to ask yourself is if Garrett Wilson for some horrific reason goes down again, are you cool with this? And that, you know what I'm saying? That's not the case. And I told you, I love AD. Okay. I love AD. Who are the only people that love AD more than me? His mama, his daddy. That's it. Okay. just having somebody else. That's all I'm saying. And like you said, I actually think there is a chance he could beat out, somebody for a wide receiver 2 position. But we can't give him the keys. How many times do I say that? Stop giving people keys, man. Yeah. They got to earn it. But yeah, I'll throw out a name. I know. Say that again.
Yes, you said earn it. I said or steal it. And you just
for real,
right? Your parents say, "Well, you ain't going out tonight. Sorry, we're taking the key." You're like, "Ah, man!" And you break in and just grab the key and say, "See you, suckers!" And you just run out and you take it, and they didn't intend because they told you no, but you said, "I'm not taking no for an answer," and I take it and I seize the day, carpe diem all over this place. Okay, I respect it. Yeah.
Yes. So I will throw out a name.
Okay.
This dude also catches passes.
Sure.
We talking about the tight end, Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon.
Okay. I would say on Kenyon Sadiq, and it's picked up some buzz. Rich Cimini on the brand new Jets Collective podcast. A mailbag question came up about Kenyon Sadiq versus wide receivers, right? If you're sitting at pick 16, it's Kenyon Sadiq versus wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 4. Who do you take? Do you just take the weapon regardless of position or what? And they went around the room talking about their opinions. And Rich Cimini said, well, I've heard some rumblings in the scouting community connecting the Jets to Kenyon Sadiq. And if Kenyon Sadiq is on the board, and I believe, this is Rich saying this, and I believe he will be on the board, I think things could be interesting. And that caught my attention like, oh my, oh yes, oh interesting, oh I see. I mean, come on, man. He's sculpted from the gods. He's got an incredible physique. He killed the combine. He either had the fastest 40-yard dash of a tight end ever, or he was just nixed out by Vernon Davis. They had some challenging numbers, so take whatever. But a sub 4.4 for a friggin' oh my goodness gracious. So yeah, baby. Yeah, give me some real action here.
At 16.
I would 100% be willing to take him at 16. Now, like anything, of course, is who else is on the board and things of that nature. But am I comfortable if he again is the pick at 16? Like, absolutely.
Fair enough. Shout out to Pops. Hop on Pop in the building. I know that's his guy, Harold Fannin Jr. And you can't say nothing. He was bowling out. So hey, that's definitely score 1 on the board for Pops right there for sure. Here's my thing.
Okay.
If it's 16, we have 16, and the top 3 receivers who, to remind everyone, are Tate, Tyson, and Lemon are off the board. The very first thing I'm going to say is that guard from Penn State there?
Yeah.
And the next thing I'm going to say is Kenyon Sadiq there? All right, because that's where I'm looking. And if they are both there, we got to flip some coins. I don't know, because it's really, really tough. And I think both of their ceilings are like the same kind of like this. These are guys who you would expect to be, Pro Bowl players. Sadiq's pro comp is Trey McBride. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you play fantasy, that's all you need to know. Trey McBride. This is not at all, because I know our guy M. Vallette, he's always like, damn, like this means you hate Sherwood, or damn, we have AD. We don't need a receiver in the day one. So in terms of Mason Taylor, let me make this perfectly clear so that you guys can ignore it and just hear what you want to hear anyway. I love Mason Taylor. I want him to be a New York Jet for as long as possible, and I want him to have a role on this team. But I don't think his role is the route running, explosive, run after catch demon that Sadiq is. Let Sadiq do that. Like, if you miss out on the top 3 receivers and you get Sadiq, you just got a receiver anyway, And now your rookie QB of next year or whatever year, like whatever that plan looks like, has that safety blanket under contract. so that they can grow together. That is the most beautiful thing I can think of right now. And Mason Taylor is still there in the red zone, in the short yardage situations. His hands are so strong at the catch point. Come on now. Like, you have a situation kind of like the Ravens had with Likely and Andrews.
Yeah.
So that's an easy pick for me at 16, assuming those top three are on the board. If the top three are off the board, if one of those guys are on the board, I would prefer a receiver, right? Just a traditional pass catcher. But if they're off, give me Sadiq, and now you still have a dynamic pass catching option.
I'm even willing to take Sadiq over some of those top three receivers, maybe multiple. So
multiple.
Yeah. Let me throw another receiver at you real quick. We'll get a 2-minute drill going on here. Chris Bell, the Louisville wide receiver. A lot of people think he would have been a first-round pick, but he tore his ACL at the end of November. So his timeline to recovery is sort of complicated. But you could get a wide receiver at a discounted price. We talk about 33, and you get a receiver that normally would have went in the first round. And if you have any level of patience with this recovery, may be interesting. Chris Bell, Louisville wide receiver.
This is, I guess, what you said with who did you say this for? Oh, our guy Jordan Tyson, who is also, I guess, kind of in a similar boat. You said, "Oh, I'll say 33, but he probably won't be there." That's what I'm gonna say. I'll say 103. Right, that's the first pick in the fourth round. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
But I mean, yeah, there's no way in hell I am using a top 44. Like, maybe if you trade up into the third, like maybe, but yeah, there's like, I'm not even close to an option in the top 44, in my opinion. And again, one thing that I'm looking for is guys who can run routes already. I feel like Bell's, scouting report, summarized. He's an athlete. He's, a big guy, a strong guy. We keep getting those dudes. I feel like we keep getting the big, strong guys. If you could just teach them some routes, then they'll be great. But that never works with us. We got to take someone who's going to work with us, who already has a full route tree. That's not Chris Bell. I'm going to go with 103. Or if he's not there, then c'est la vie.
Yeah, I like the player a lot. We'll have to see. Again, health to see what's up. All right, Woody, go ahead.
This is the name that low key, it was you guys in the comments that was telling me about this name. And since then, I've kind of become enamored. I don't even, love the idea of, wasting too much capital on a QB this year, but I'm in the minority there. Everyone, says, we got to draft one. So now that, I guess that hand is being forced, Taylor Green. This dude is a freak of nature, which, we've seen a lot of times, right? Anthony Richardson, freak of nature. But you also got to have it up here. I think, Green, from the little that I know, I'm not saying that, I'm a in his family or anything like that. But, I think this is somebody who can develop, somebody who can be even pre-development, before they become the butterfly and they still in that cocoon. You can still use them, for different packages, like how we were trying to use Justin Fields before he said, nah, So I think Taylor Green gives a lot of flexibility of what can be done. And, moving forward, just having, a nice guy in the room, like a physical specimen in the room to get people like Arch. Like maybe Taylor Green has more throwing power than Arch. He's like, damn, let me stay a couple more reps and do my thing. So Taylor Green, how you feeling?
I feel this way basically about all the quarterbacks, I guess, outside of Ty Simpson. Is 103 is that early fourth-round draft choice for the Jets. They have 2 fourth-round picks. The other one's a comp pick. Is where I feel comfortable taking any of these quarterbacks. And Taylor is intriguing. He had one, and this is not hyperbole, he had one of the greatest NFL combines of all time. He was listed at 6'6", 227 pounds. Of course, the quarterback out of Arkansas. He had a 4.36 40-yard dash, 1.55 10-yard split, 43.5 vertical jump, and an 11-2 broad jump. Again, look at if those numbers don't hit you, like you're like, that just was word salad of numbers. Look it up, people, as it compares to some of the greatest athletes that have ever touched the combine. Now, great athlete does not always make great quarterback, but you have the traits and tools, and it seems to check off things that Frank Reich likes as well. 103, and again, the consensus big board has him at 133, so this would be a reach compared to the analysis, but quarterbacks are heralded differently, and that's where the Jets pick. I wouldn't risk it. If you're going to take a chance on quarterback with traits, Taylor Green, man, he checks off a lot of boxes.
Yeah, absolutely, and I completely agree. That's, you can, like you just said, insert name here for quarterback. 103 is the highest. I'm taking any of them, and that's why I pretty much said never for Simpson, right? Because he's not going to be there. There is no quarterback in this draft not named Fernando Mendoza that I am taking before 103.
By the way, quick thing from Boss Girl, Zach Kuntz. He had one of the greatest RAS, relative athletic scores of all time, too. He was a 7th-round pick, and now he's on the Dolphins. So take that for whatever you will. Again, athleticism doesn't always equate to the other side. I'll package this one real quick because it's sort of the same conversation. Garrett Nussmeier, the Jets are having a private workout with him, the LSU kid. 103 is where I feel comfortable taking him. Wudi, again, pick your quarterback development. Is it Carson Beck? Is it Taylor Green? Is it Garrett Nussmeier? Is it whatever dart throw you want? I think that's the earliest at 103 for these guys.
Yeah, wholeheartedly agreed. Nuss, I like Nuss. Sorry, that sounded crazy, but yeah.
What the fuck? But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that.
There's not. But Nuss, just S. But yeah, anyway, I think he's a good player. I really do, actually. Do I think he's a franchise?
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, do I think he's a franchise guy? No, I don't think any of these guys are franchise guys. So that's why, 103, okay, play, do whatever you want, go to the playground while, the real people, get ready for, Arch Sellers, Moore, whoever it is. Okay, all right, Jay. All right, you can calm down. Yeah,
I didn't even know a nickname was necessary. I thought Nussmeier was fine as is. I didn't know it needed to be shortened, but thank you.
Well, now it doesn't. It doesn't. Nussmeier. That is his name, and that's how we're gonna say it. Low key, I love to see, like, the comments they popping right now, and we got a disagreement going on Boy Green 2-5. A disagreement going on with Take Flight Talks. All I gotta say is that I love the passion. Just remember, we all want the same thing, right? And that's for the Jets to not be asked, which unfortunately they currently are. But just remember that when we having these discussions, and definitely seen some crazy takes, but none crazier about than the wide receiver thing. Yeah, we definitely need one. But actually, I'll say one last thing about that.
Okay.
They talked about, the wide receivers next year, and how, like, that's also supposed to be a deep class, right? The QBs and the wide receivers for next year. If you're assuming that this team, like this New York Jets team, is not booty cheeks, then you cannot put all your eggs in the basket of, we can get 2 first-rounders. Because if, if the Jets have a good pick, then they probably going to have to package a pick to move up. Like they
possibly.
Yeah. It could be 1, could be 2. I mean, they almost said what?
Or none, right? Because of what Henry said, that if one of those other teams that you control their first rounder is terrible, then you don't even need, like, they took care of your business, so you don't even matter.
Yeah, the chance of that I feel like is extremely low. Like, I'm definitely not going to put money on the Colts being a top 5. Like the Cowboys are definitely not going to be a top 5. I actually think the Cowboys are going to win their division, but the Colts, like, are they going to be a bottom 5 team? Like, I don't know about all that. Right. So again, this is for the people, positive Patty. All the Jets are making the playoffs this year. Like, I just wouldn't be so, like, if that happens, right, they just made the playoffs, and obviously we're all hyped. We're all going to be hyped.
Sure, yeah.
Then we got to package some picks to move up. So that's why I'm not thinking like, we definitely getting we're definitely going to be in the running for Jeremiah Smith. Like, I feel like that is a completely unattainable asset. You know, we are
completely unattainable.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know y'all living in the sunshine. You know, just make the playoffs. The Colts are the worst team in the NFL. You know, like that. But that's not gonna. Neither of those things are gonna happen.
Quick shout out. My final comment here is just we talked about Sonny Styles earlier. What about his brother? I was going to say from another mother, but no, it's the same mother. Lorenzo Styles Jr. Again, he got overshadowed by his very talented brother that's going to go very high. And a lot of people don't know anything about Lorenzo Styles outside of that he's the brother of Sonny. He was a corner and DB at Ohio State. He's 214th on the big board. You know, tell me wherever. I'm going to bet on that bloodline. I'm going to bet on those traits and take a chance. And even if it's, you know, in a fantasy draft where you take him around earlier than he should go just to make sure you get him, I trust the traits, man. And there's something, they're feeding something to those Styles boys at the household. So I'd like one. If I could get two, that'd be great. But at least give me one. And hey, Lorenzo's super likely there at some point at the end of the draft.
Yeah, you know, I have no problem. You know, 7th round, you already know it's a complete crapshoot. Why not go with DNA? You know, that's something that is, you know, scientifically proven. I'm with that. I believe because I let me pull it up because I thought I had his style or his bio real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a receiver before he was even a corner.
Correct. So, right. Athleticism. Right.
Yeah. Well, more like interceptions, which.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Those are good too.
Yeah. You know, so if this boy somehow find himself on the field somehow, you know, and the ball comes his way, I know that he's not going to, you know, just bobble it up. So yeah, that's a pick I would make, you know, 7th round, no problem. 6 if you want, sure. You know, like no.
Although
problem.
You know what they say about receivers that become defensive backs, they were just receivers that couldn't catch, and they could become DBs. That's what they say.
That is what they say. That's a fact. But no, like they can but better than their new peers now. Like you know, like
perhaps right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that's my guy. Yeah, I think that would be a solid late round snag.
For sure. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So, Wudi, fun game. This was a lot of fun. Again, today is a Thursday. It is the 26th. Next week, when you tune in at 3 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday, you will see no Boy Green. But don't worry, Boy Green Meets Wudi will still be on. Me and Wudi talked about this a while back, and no one had ever brought this up as a possibility that if I was ever unavailable, I guess there's no show. But I love that Wudi talked about that, like, we should still have something, even if someone else isn't there. Because, like, in the real world, right, the Rich Eisen shows are going on. Someone fills in for Rich, and he hosts the Rich Eisen show. So I love that content will still be pumping out. I will be available in the comments section, but I'll be working my Syracuse Mets job. That will sporadically happen over the course of the month. So please give a warm welcome to Wudi, who's always here, and also Wudi's friend Michael K. So please show all your love. I'm looking forward to that next week for both shows. I'll be on for all the normal Boy Green dailies. Baseball isn't in the morning, so I never have to worry about that. But baseball in the afternoons to start the next couple of weeks. So hopefully you guys give a warm response and give them a lot of questions and whatever topics they happen to be talking about. So I'm really excited for you guys for next week.
Well, the action is anything like today, now we're gonna be all good because again, y'all been super passionate, super hype. We've been trying to. It was harder today than most days to keep up with the comments because every single time I blink, the comment is going. And I guess that's what happens when you have two different arguments happening in two different channels. But again, we all want the same thing, right? We all rooting for our team. Unfortunately, we can't get all the players that we talked about today. And in some cases, that's kind of a great thing, because I'm telling you, Ty Simpson, I can't with him. All right. But everyone else, we'll see, what happens. We did have some other names.
Yes.
Maybe we could talk about them at another point, but there are plenty of fish in the sea. All right. That's what my dad used to tell me. And we gonna still be talking about these fish. All right. There's still so much time before April 23rd. We're gonna be talking. Ryan Roberts is gonna break down these guys like none other. Like, who was their 8th grade girlfriend? Like, yo, what's their favorite color? Anything you need to know about these dudes, Ryan Roberts will lay it down. And so we got a lot of things to uncover still. And of course, next week, the Take Flight takeover. We talking New York Jets, baby.
Yes. So I'll be back on tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily with Bob Lederer, and we'll have a special show streaming. I believe it'll be at 10 o'clock. We will have a live musical performance on a Boy Green MC show digital crossover. Classic rock will be playing. We're having a very notable New York artist who is going to be jumping on the show and playing jams. He's taking requests, and we're going to do a weird, brand new musical thing that you guys will be able to see at 10 o'clock. So it'll be Boy Green Daily with Bob Lederer, and then as soon as that show is over, I'm jumping over to the musical concert performance that'll be on the Boy Green Daily channel and the MC Show digital channel. So guys, buckle up for that. That'll be a lot of fun. And again, that'll have absolutely nothing to do with sports. So let us know if that's something you guys are going to be vibing with. Very much looking forward to that new show. It's a one-off. It's just a one morning only show, but that'll be tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So should be a lot of fun.
Hey, let's get it. Appreciate you guys on all the channels. I know I've been talking about YouTube a lot, but Instagram was popping as well. Appreciate all the love in there. And hey, let's go. New York Jets. We'll see you guys.
Peace out, everybody. See ya.